Hello and welcome to the Real Amazon FBA Seller. So today we're going to be looking at a company called Daily Lead Sourcer, and that is exactly what it says on the tin. They send you daily leads via email. As you can see, this is the store: Notino, Hamleys, Salon Total, All Beauty, and Smith's Toys, and then the Amazon links here, and it also gives you different figures of how much it costs to buy, how much it sells on Amazon, the fees you have to pay in order to sell the products on Amazon, profits, ROI, profit margin, etc., and how many other sellers are selling the product, as well as other different bits and bobs. So I am in no way affiliated with this company, but they do send me daily leads, and then it's on me to decide whether I want to buy the products or not. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive straight into this, and we're going to look at whether these products are profitable or not, and just look at them in the way that I would look at them and the decisions I would make whether I would buy them or not. So let's start with this one. What we're going to do is open up the link. We will, one, open up the link for Smith's Toy Store, and two, open up the link for Amazon so we can see them side by side. So this is the product for sale on Smith's Toy Store. We have a Sonic the Hedgehog 6cm supersonic figure. You can see here it is £5.99 to purchase. If we go over to Amazon, you can see it is currently selling for £15.87. So we buy for £5.99, we sell for £15.87. Now I also have this Google Chrome extension from Seller Amp. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what Seller Amp is, it essentially analyzes all the figures to do with selling this product, i.e. whether you're eligible to sell it or not. And as you can see here, it's no. But most people know that as long as you buy 10 of a product, that will turn to yes. BSR is 2%. Estimated sales a month. Sale price has already been taken from the buy box price, which is here, and automatically put in there. And then you put your cost price in there. You can see your profit and you can see your ROI. You can also take either the EAN number or the ASIN, and we can put it straight into Seller Amp. And this will give you more of a breakdown on what the product is, all the facts and figures. We have graphs, and we can decide whether this is a product worth buying or not. So I'm just going to get stuck into it exactly as I would get stuck into it, and I'll try and talk my thought process through it. So straight away, it's from Smith's Toy Store. Let's see how many we can buy. Something that is quite apparent with these type of toy stores. If you click and collect, as I personally know through Smith's Toy Store, they only let you purchase a certain amount. They go into store and try and pick them up, and they will say no. So you have to bear that in mind. Now, we need a minimum of 10 here in order to be eligible here. Now, some people, or all Amazon FBA sellers already know what this means, but for those who don't, if you're not eligible to sell it, it just means that what you'd need to do is either watch some Amazon videos on how to sell products, or you have to buy 10 of a product to use that invoice, and then you click here, ungate, upload that invoice, and then that would change to yes. It really is that simple. There is nothing to really worry about that whatsoever. So let's go back to this. Let's punch in 10 because we need a minimum of 10. Otherwise, it's absolutely no point. And as you can see here, limited to 3 for home delivery. So we're not going to go into the store because it's going to be exactly the same. They will just turn around and say you're ordering too many. So this is a pointless product. And what I mean by that is you can buy 3 and you could sell 3. If we punch in the figure of £5.99 to buy, £15.87 to sell, profit £3.76, ROI 62%. Very good product, to be fair. And if we look at all the sellers that are selling the product, they've all got on the same wavelength and are all selling it at the same price. That's quite rare, and that's a very, very good sign. However, we can only buy 3. So we can never keep the product in stock unless, of course, Smith's is always selling these at £5.99. But we have to buy them in bulks of 3. It's pointless. It is pointless. If you're trying to build a successful business, you don't send 3 of a product in. So that lead is a good lead profit-wise, but I'm not interested if I can only buy 3 of the product. It's just that simple. So we'll open up the next one. Sometimes you have to be ruthless. Sometimes you have to set yourself certain parameters that you will not budge on. ROI, profit margins, etc. And one of them is if I can't buy enough of the stock to keep it in stock for a good few months, and in fact indefinitely, then it's pointless. There's no point buying a product that you can only buy 3 of. So let's move on to the next product. So this is something I've actually already looked at before, because if we look at the Google Chrome extension for Seller Amp, the cost price has already been put in there. Seller Amp will tend to remember what you've punched into it. And in this instance, it has. So I've already analyzed this product. Now, whether I bought it or not, I can't really remember. So we'll just go for it again. So it's £4.99 to buy it. As you can see, the cost price here, £4.99 to buy it. And at the moment, it is currently selling for, in fact, there's no buy box. Normally you'd see obviously buy now or add to basket, and that is not there. So if you were on Amazon and clicking this, you'd have to click see all buying options. And if you did, you would more than likely choose the cheapest one. Most people don't realize if the buy box is here, i.e. buy now or add to basket, the price you would see here is not always the cheapest. But if you're forced to click see all buying options because there is no buy box, then you are likely going to go with the cheapest. And because of that, most of the sellers get their act together and sell for the same price. So £12.99 here, but you can see this one's £13.87, £14.50. And these prices will be shown on the Seller Amp extension. You can see here, Amazon is an open source platform, so all information is public. We can see down here actually with Seller Amp as well, where I first looked at it was the 1st of February. It's now the 26th of February. So I did look at this before, and it actually shows you that I bought £40 worth of the stock. So I bought this product. How it's selling, I'm not really sure as I make this video, but I liked it. So why did I like it? Okay, so let's take, I don't want to confuse people too much with flicking through screens. So we've got the product here. This is the Amazon listing. If you were to go on Amazon, this is what you would see. You wouldn't have this extension from Jungle Scout that gives you the ability to analyze products as well as evaluate new ideas as you browse. You wouldn't have this Helium 10 Chrome extension either, and you wouldn't have this Seller Amp extension. But this is the Amazon page, and Seller Amp, Helium 10 and Jungle Scout can give you the ability to analyze from different angles whether it's something you want to buy or not. So in order to analyze the product in better fashion, we would take the ASIN, usually take the EAN. The ASIN can give different products of different, as you can see, colors. So we take the EAN, copy that. We go to a bigger version of Seller Amp, which is this. We punch that in and we can see it in better detail. So this was what we saw on Amazon. As you can see, it's here. And now we have it here. So first of all, eligible, yes, but we've already explained this earlier in the video. If you're not, nothing to worry about. Estimated sales, 17 a month. Now, it's not huge, but workable. Alerts. So there's 18 variations. Sells 17 a month across those 18 variations. So it's only selling 1 a month. And that, for something that only costs 12 quid, is not something I want to get involved in, selling one a month, when you're already competing with 7, 14, 19, 25, 28. There's 28 in stock. And although we don't know which products of these variations, as you can see, the V in there, this listing has 18 variations. Now we know it has 18 variations because we can see all the different colors here, 18 of them. So how many of each color sell? There probably is a way to find out, but even if it was only 17 the same color, that's not a huge amount, especially when you've got 28 in stock. Cost price $4.99, sale price $12.99. Good, not profit amount, but ROI 49%. It only sells one a month. I'm really not interested. It is that simple. I'm not interested in a product that only sells one a month. What is the point in that? You're going to get charged storage fees for sending more than one in. It's going to take a while to sell it. And as you can see, it says here, estimated time to sell 8 days. I don't quite believe that. Some of the information that it gives you is not always hugely accurate. That is why you look at Helium 10, Jungle Scout, other apps, other software to give you different answers and you work it out from there. So what we're going to do now is open up the next product. Next product is, this is the Amazon listing. First of all, we can see it's a 3-pack, something we need to pay attention to because the link we might have been given might be for a 1-pack. No, I don't wish to sign up. So let's have a look at this. There we go, 3 times 40 mil. So the product being sold from Salon Total is 3 of them. And it's 40 mil. So let's double check that. We have to make sure, always double check. There you go, 3 times 40 mil. It's clearly the same product. So now we can start analyzing it. I always just look at this on the right-hand side because it pops up whenever I open an Amazon listing. And then I can look at it in more detail in Seller Amp if I need to. So 1%, that's good. That essentially means it's a good product, top of Amazon's listings, good keywords, good sale rate. It's just in the top 1%. So that's always a good sign. Sales 11 a month. For something £37 a month, not something to be worried about too much. If you could sell all 11 a month and make that amount of money, then that's good. So let's now look at the amount of sellers that are selling them. Now with Seller Amp, what it does, it tells you the FBM sellers as well as the FBA sellers. Fulfilled by merchant, i.e. you. Fulfilled by Amazon, i.e. Amazon. So when someone clicks buy now, where is it coming from? Now this is, again, more proof that being the cheapest price does not mean that you will be buying, that you will be the seller of the product. So if someone was to open this Amazon listing, you wouldn't have Jungle Scout, you wouldn't have Helium 10, and you wouldn't have Seller Amp. You'd go on here and you click, yeah, I'll have that, add to basket or buy now. Most people don't realize, and this is how Amazon works, utilizing how the human brain works. Most people don't realize you can get exactly the same product, as you can see there, for cheaper, £36.14, and you'd be paying £37. Might be 86p, but it's still 86p, and sometimes that difference in price can be more than 86p. Most people don't realize that if you just clicked underneath here, new from £36.14, as you can see on the extension, exactly the same product. And I mean exactly the same product, it's no different. The only difference is if you were to click buy now, it comes from, as you can see here, from FBA. It comes from an Amazon seller, meaning that you're going to get it, as you can see here, tomorrow. You'll get it next day. Whereas FBM, that is someone with the product in their house, in their warehouse. They have to go to the post office. They have to book their own courier and post it out. Therefore, it's going to take longer. You can't match Amazon for speed of delivery, which is why sometimes the buy box is given to someone who's slightly more expensive because they can get the product to you quicker. And ultimately, Amazon is built around customer service, which includes delivery. And it also proves when people undercut people with certain prices, it's stupid to do it because you're not guaranteed the buy box and you just end up bricking the listing, i.e. the prices just all fall down and drop all the way to the bottom. But what we can see here is there are 6 sellers. That's not too bad. We've got 2 FBM sellers and we've got 4 FBA. Now, Seller Amp gives you a toggle here. And as you can see, it removes the FBM sellers. It's a useful toggle because pretty much you can ignore the FBM sellers because you will get priority, as you can see by this one in bold. Not the cheapest, but it's the one, if people were to click on Amazon, they'd be buying direct from you. And if you look underneath, you can see dispatched from Amazon, sold by Starlight Deals. Starlight Deals. So if you click buy now, it comes from them. You can, of course, choose a different click here and you'd have that one. It's cheaper, but it would naturally take longer to get to you. But people don't know this. This is the main point. Most people on Amazon don't know this, and you can utilize that to your advantage. So let's just remove the FBM sellers for now. And what I like here is the fact that everyone has got on the same wavelength and everyone's selling it for the same price, meaning that the buy box rotation will just rotate amongst all 4 of you. And I like people who do that, who don't try and undercut because they think, oh, if I go 1 penny cheaper or 10p cheaper, I'll get the buy box. I will be the person behind that buy now button. That just isn't true. So everyone getting on the same wavelength is always a good sign. And that, first of all, is something I like. So that's just one about the sellers. It sells 11 a month, and there is 5, 8, 11, 13. So there's a month's in stock that are there. You could certainly get amongst that. It says there estimated time to sell 5 weeks. I don't really trust that, to be honest with you. But if it's 11 a month and there's 13 in stock, 5 weeks is correct. But you might get to sell it quicker than the other sellers. So 5 weeks, something to consider it might take to sell. Right, so that's all good so far. We have these extensions, and what I'm going to do is quickly log in here. So we have now just logged in, and we now get different information from Jungle Scout. It says here monthly sales 23 a month. Seller Amp says 11 a month. So what's the actual truth? I don't know. And if you paid for the Helium 10 version, you would also get it in here. It's grayed out because I don't pay for it at the moment. You can do, but that might say another completely different figure. So you take into account, this one says 23 a month. This one says 11 a month. So what's the actual truth? Jungle Scout also gives you different information, profits, fees, and the same with Helium 10, but I haven't paid for that one. So let's take the EAN and let's punch it into a bigger version of Seller Amp so we can see exactly what the product is. And in fact, let's decide that we're going to pick a price that we want to sell at. And if we don't reach that price, then we're not going to buy it. I haven't yet opened the link that's given to me. In fact, you can already see the price there, £17.5. So we're going to punch it in. Sometimes you can decide by looking at the stuff, okay, well, this is the maximum I want to pay for it based on every variable that you've looked at. And if it doesn't meet that criteria, then you don't buy it. Sometimes I like to do that. Seller Amp's quite useful as well because it gives you the sale price of £37. Sometimes this might be 37, this might be 39, this might be 40, this might be 28. You have to decide where you're going to put your price point. Also, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? But as is very rare, everyone's on the same wavelength and every FBA sells at £37. So that's not going to change. I am going to sell that at £37. Seller Amp will then give you, if you want to sell it at £37 and you want to meet the profit and ROI margins that you have set within the settings of Seller Amp, then the maximum you can pay for it is £21.64. Now we already know it's going to be £17.5, but there might be postage costs, etc. So let's just analyze it anyway. So let's have a quick look over here. This is the ranks and prices, and it'll give you the current price. As you can see, £37. Average over the last 30 days, £37.86. Last 90 days, £38.89. 180, £39.17. And all-time, £29.72. So it's been a bit of a stable product. There's not really massive fluctuations, and in fact, it seems to be around about the same price. Is it something that's going to go out of date, out of fashion? No. It's not a Lego set that only sticks around for a couple of years. It's not a certain design or fashion that's going to go out of date. It's not something that's going to be affected by other things. It's something to cover up grey hair. So now let's look at a bigger version of the graphs. Now you can look at Keeper. Keeper gives it you in more detail, but just for this video I won't, but Keeper will give you these graphs in better detail. And you can look at how it's sold over the last day, week, month, 3 months, year, all time, and you can use this information to decide whether it's a good product for you to sell. Now, if Amazon was selling this product, this whole white background would be orange, or at least when they sell the product. Amazon don't sell the product. Something to be aware of, because Amazon do sell the product, you're not going to match them for price. They're going to have far more stock than you, and naturally the algorithms are going to prioritize Amazon selling their products over you. Something to take into account. Doesn't mean you can't sell them. So let's look at the last month. We've just come past Christmas, January sales, and the pink line is, sorry, it should have figures on the screen. I'm just going to reload it. There we go. The pink line is basically where it's selling at, and we are interested. You can see, I'm not going to point with my finger, but you can see FBA sellers £38.69, FBM £39.14, but the one you're looking at is the buy box, which is £38.69. So on the round about the 3rd of January, it was selling for £38.69, and it's got kind of gone up 43, down 39, up 43, down 39, and that's usually indicative of two different sellers. One selling it at £43.5p, and one selling it at £39.14, and it will oscillate between the two. That's how the buy box works on Amazon. Then we had a massive spike here to £85.13, but that was probably because there was no one in stock, and the company who were in stock was able to dictate the price. So that's an anomaly you can ignore, especially now we have 4 sellers all selling them at £37. So is £37 representative of what this product sells for normally? And as we looked at the last 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, and all time, yes, £37 is absolutely right. And we can see by a nice kind of straight graph, it goes up, down. We can ignore that anomaly. It does kind of pit down here at the beginning of January to £31, and it kind of levels out again. That's the last 3 months. If we look at the last year, we can see again, March 22, 40 quid, and it is stable. It is stable. Went out of stock there for a bit. There's no pink line. £30, £35, £39. It's a stable product. And if you look at all time, that pink line has just stayed there since 2017. It's gone in and out of stock quite a bit, and that's something that's good actually. It means you can jump in there where there isn't a lot of stock. But something to be aware of is these emails that you receive from Daily Lead Sourcer. If they found it online and sent it to you, 1, other people can find it, and 2, it means other people being sent the same lead, which may lead to prices dropping because of inexperienced sellers that think, oh, if I just go a little bit cheaper, and if you want to stay in and around the buy box, your reprices through AI bots might chase that price down. Something to be aware of. A lot of stuff to be aware of. So I like this product. We also then need to look at, we have here, through Seller Amp, you can see the dimensions, how big it is, how much it weighs, because you need to take that into account when you post it into Amazon. And is it breakable? Do you need to package it? Is it multi-sets, etc., etc., etc.? There's so many things to take into account. So let's just slide this over here. So £17.70 is what it costs. You get down to £17.50 if you buy more than two. £17.05. Like if I'm going to buy it, I would usually buy a month's worth of stock. And I would take this figure here of 11. Also take into account the fact that other companies are selling them as well. So I do need 10 probably to ungate it. But I'm not going to go through that ungating procedure, because if you leave selling applications open just for the sake of a video, that can also go against your Amazon score. So I would buy 12 of them. So there'd be £17.05 each. So we can now punch that figure into, let's remove that graph. Let's go to here and we can punch that in. £17.05p. And you can see £10 profit per item, ROI 58%. This is a stable product. This is a smaller graph. Not many sellers. Everyone's on the same wavelength. Also, let's look at what type of product it is and how well it sells, scores, etc. Helium 10 gives you a listing of 8 out of 10. So it's a good product. You have to remember as well, people will send products back for whatever reason. So you don't really want to buy a product with poor reviews. And if we go down to the Amazon listing, we can see that 58% think it's 5-star. 74% overall is 5 or 4 stars. They're probably not going to be returned. 13% 1-star, but they're probably the people who are grey and bolding because of the product and it didn't work for them. So they've gone, it's rubbish, 1-star. And that probably will then be sent back. They might have used it, or they probably will have used it, opened it, sent it back. You now either have a choice to bin it or put it on eBay or something like that. You will get returns, and that ultimately factors into your profit margins. Like you make £10 per sale, but you will get some that are sent back. So this is why your ROI figures, and this is why your profit figures need to be spot on. And this is why you can't just be selling at 10% ROI, profit's profit, because it won't be profit's profit when you get products sent back, because that's the way Amazon is set up. It's just the way it is. You have to take it into account. We've got a decent ROI of 58%. You should be aiming for, realistically, I set mine at 35. And with returns, even stuff that doesn't sell, people that come in and brick the listings, you have to sell at a cheaper price just to sell. That ROI then might end up dropping down to like 20%. But overall, that's good profit per item. That's good ROI. There's a decent amount of sellers. They're all on the same wavelength, and the product is stable, and it's a good product based on the reviews. So it's a good product. So we also got to think, is this something that we can buy from in a month's time? Like, is this price going to go up? Is it on sale? Doesn't say anything about sale on here. But if it's on sale and it goes up to like, I don't know, 26 quid. So say it went up to 26 quid in a month. If it was on sale, profit £1, ROI 4%. And as you can see, they've turned to red because they're outside my parameters. It wouldn't be something I'd be interested in. But we looked at all the figures for the last 5 years, and it's never dropped that low. So we would then make sure that we can buy 10, because it might say you can't buy 10. Make sure we can buy 10. We look at the shipping costs as well, because you have to take that into consideration, because if it's £5 shipping and you bought 10 items, that increases the item cost by 20p each, doesn't it? You have to take that into account. but it doesn't, it's free. So it is £17 and 5p per item. £10 profit, 50% ROI. That's a good product. And I am going to buy. That's what I'm going to buy. 10 of them. I am going to buy that. So we can close this one down and move on to, there's 2 more to look at. And that should be enough for this video alone. Hopefully you're taking some information in. Just sitting and listening and just having words talked into your brain can be useful for learning. And I hope there's some certain things here that are useful to you in looking at whether a product is profitable to buy or not. So on this one, what we're going to do, we're going to set a figure before we even open that link there by analyzing the product straight away. So eligible 10, not a problem. Eligible no, not a problem. We'll just buy 10 of them. Alert, private label. This is where a company has made their own product and you're not allowed to sell it. But this is usually only the case if there's 1 or 2 sellers, because a private label product would be someone who's selling their own product and so no one else is allowed to sell it. And this just isn't true here. There's 4 sellers, meaning it's not a private label product, and we can ignore that. Estimated sales 10 a month, not huge, but that's okay. Let's look at the sellers, and everyone on this one as well is on the same wavelength. £20.32, £20.32, £20.32, £20.40, no FBM sellers. So everyone's on the same price. You can, I believe, be within 2% of the buy box and you still get rotated equally. So this £20.40 will still be equally rotated along with this £20.32, but they're actually going to receive 7p more profit. Something to be aware of. So estimated sales 10 a month. Jungle Scouts say there's 8. Listing score 8 out of 10. Amazon listing score, again, 8.5 out of 10. So it's a good product. It's a good product. If it's opened and sent back, you're not going to be able to resell it because it's sealed, something you need to take into account. So the profit margins need to be good enough, or when you do get one sent back, which will happen, you are just going to have to sell it secondhand on eBay, or maybe even just bin it, or maybe liquidate it. So something to be aware of. So sale price £20.32. Let's look at the figures of the product fully on Seller Amp. So we're going to move down to here. Current price £20.32. Last 30 days £20.85. Last 90 £21.76. 180 £22.38. All time. So it's kind of come down in price, and in a world of rising inflation, you don't really want things to go down in price. So if we look at the last 3 months, even so, you can see the pink line, it's pretty much stable. It's dropped down a little bit, but even though it's dropped down a little bit, that means maybe there's room for it to go back up again. So that's the last 3 months. Let's look at the last year. It's definitely dropped in price. May 2022, it was £25. It's now £20. And all time, it was only released in May 2022. So is it something that's going to go out of stock? Is it something that people aren't going to be interested in buying anymore because it's not the latest trend? Possible. So this isn't something, unlike the hair product, that you can keep in stock forever, because at some point there's going to be a new toy to replace this. So something to take into consideration. You're not going to be able to keep this in stock forever. But that's just we're not supposed to open that again yet. Right, so £20.32, where am I going to price it? I'm going to stick it £20.40. But we'll leave that at £20.32 because it's only 8p in there. There's no point changing that. Which means I have a cost price of £10.55. I do like this product. Stable pricing amongst the sellers already there. There is stable pricing, albeit a slight drop from the history of it. You're not going to be able to sell it forever. You're going to have to buy 10 probably. So £10.55 max cost. Okay, let's open up the where you... I don't want to accept all your garbage. Hang on. And this is where we can see £14 was £20, but it's buy one, get half price, get one half price. So essentially it's already on sale and it's on further sale, meaning that you're going to have to get the stock now and drip feed it into Amazon, because this price is going to go back up to 20 and it's not going to be buy one, get one free, buy one, get one half price. And if we were to put that figure of £20 in to sell, £20 you buy it, £20.32 you sell it for, you're going to lose £7 because of the fees Amazon will charge you. So this is something that's on sale. You're going to have to buy now and keep some, maybe buy like 20 of them and send in 10, and then in a month's time send in another 10, and then drop the product, or just see where you're at basically. So let's just double check this. Let's put 2 in the bag, and it seems that a couple of the voucher Chrome extensions I have, like Moolah, seem to think I can get money off, which is good as well. So if I make that 2, that should say £21, 28. So it's not buy one, get one half price then, is it? That's quite misleading from Hamleys. From a massive company like Hamleys, that's clearly not true, is it? Aha, it's now been applied. £21 for 2. So it's £10.50 each. So we can punch that figure in here. £10.50, 25% ROI, £2.69 profit. It's just not worth it. You're going to get a couple cent back. The ROI, like my ROI set here is 25%. If it's less than 25%, that will go red. So if I put £9.99 in there, for example, sorry, what was it, £10? I don't know, £10.99 to buy. There you go. So because of the sales, it's just not worth it. Good product, but it's not something you can keep in stock forever. It is going to go out of fashion because it's a toy. You are going to get returns that you can't resell because it's a sealed plastic item. Nope, not for me. Now, I could have looked at this straight away, but I look at things as I want to look at things. Okay, let's look at the last one. Close this Ben 10 down. It's just not worth it. You can't just be throwing money at things going, oh, look, there's profit there. You have to be thinking about everything. You really do, if you want a profitable Amazon business. And also you have what's called an IPI score, which is a inventory performance index. And it takes into account how much stock you have, whether you should have more, whether you should have less. And that affects your score, affects the algorithms, and how likely you are to own the buy box to sell your product. Now, if you're buying a product that goes out of stock, which the Ben 10 will, then you are going to affect your IPI score. So unless the profit margins are huge, there's no point, and the profit margins are quite low, and it's something that's going to get returned and go out of popularity in the public. So let's move on to the other one. This is the Amazon listening, 2 times Amazon advanced techniques thingies. So here you go. This one's selling 1. So something you need to remember is you're going to have to bunch them together, put them in poly bags, put them in vacuum bags, which is going to take you time and it's going to take you money. Something to be aware of. It's on some kind of sale. It doesn't say it's on massive sale. So £2.90, so it's going to be £5.80 for 2. £13.99 it's selling for. So it'll be £5.80 for 2. 38% ROI, that's good. It doesn't matter too much about the profit amount if the ROI is good, because that's what turns around your money. Okay, let's look at the amount of sellers we've got. Forget it. 16 FBA sellers, 4 FBM sellers, 20 sellers. Forget it. Absolutely forget it. I'm not competing with 20 other sellers, which means you only get a 5% share of the buy box. And that's if I have reviews. Some of these reviews are massive, 51 reviews,